Welcome.
Welcome to the Everything podcast, and in this episode I'm reviewing Class Big Finish 2.3 titled In Remembrance. But before I get to my review for this episode, and at the end of the episode, as always, I'll be previewing what I will be covering in the next episode. It's time for the cast list of Class Volume 2. This is the final story of Class Volume 2. So Class Volume 2 stars Greg Austin as Charlie, Fadi El-Seed as Ram, Sophie Hopkins as April, Vivian Opera as Tanya, Georgia Renzo as Matesh, Catherine Kelly as Miss Quill, Sophie Aldred as Ace, Nicholas Briggs as the Daleks, Taj Atwell as Regan, Anson Boone as Peter, Chevron Marks as Michelle, and Wilf Scolding as Chris. The writer of In Remembrance was Guy Adams and the director was Scott Hancock. The synopsis is: when an alarm is triggered at Coal Hill Academy, Quill and Charlie encounter a mysterious intruder prowling around school premises. Worse, they also encounter a Dalek. Their only hope of survival lies with the stranger, a woman who calls herself Ace. In Remembrance was released within Class Volume 2, as I previously mentioned, which was released in August 2018. My opinion on In Remembrance is I love the inclusions of Ace and the Daleks. I enjoyed the dynamic between Miss Quill and Ace. I liked seeing Charlie's reaction to being trapped in the 1960s. Without further ado, here's my review of Class Big Finish 2.3 titled In Remembrance. Miss Quill insults Mateus. Charlie is annoyed at how old the school computers are. Miss Quill confesses that she has attached additional alarms within the school. Charlie and Miss Quill meet Ace and a Dalek. Ace, Charlie and Miss Quill run away from the Dalek. We then have the title sequence. Both Ace and Miss Quill know what a Dalek is. The Dalek shoots at Miss Quill, Ace and Charlie. Charlie believes Daleks are robots. Charlie is kidnapped. Charlie has travelled back in time. Ace and Miss Quill hide from the Dalek. Miss Quill and Ace work out that they both know the Doctor. Charlie is insulted, slapped and restrained. The Dalek records a message. Ace and Miss Quill introduce themselves to each other. Ace mentions her time on Gallifrey as well as her charity. Ace knows Charlie's current location. Ace remembers and recounts her previous encounter with Charlie. Charlie and Ace introduce themselves to each other. Charlie is trapped in 1963. Ace references the events of the TV story and attacking Daleks with a baseball bat. Miss Quill mentions the Time War and the destruction of Rhodia. The Dalek learns what unit is and the TV story Ace told Miss Quill about. Miss Quill is introduced to Ace's concealed weapon. Miss Quill insults Ace. Charlie finds the Doctor's TARDIS, or what he thinks is the Doctor's TARDIS. Ace insults and blows up the Dalek. Charlie asks someone about the Doctor's whereabouts. Charlie and this person are being chased by a Dalek. This Dalek kills someone. Miss Quill wakes up following the explosion. The Doctor is still functioning. The Dalek asks for Miss Quill's help in exchange for Charlie's safe return. The Dalek knows about Charlie being trapped in 1963. The Dalek chasing Charlie kills someone else. Ace wakes up. The Daleks keep doing it. The Daleks call Miss Quill unimportant. Miss Quill mentions humans being obsessed with reality TV. Ace attacks the Dalek. Charlie hides from the Dalek. The Dalek believes that Daleks are perfect. Miss Quill insults male humans. Charlie throws something at the Dalek. Ace reminds Miss Quill that Daleks can't be trusted. Miss Quill explains to Ace why she doesn't like the Doctor, as well as why she has to protect Charlie. The Dalek orders Miss Quill multiple times. Ace apologises to Miss Quill. Charlie apologises to a dead person. Miss Quill disobeys the Dalek and explains her reasons why she does. The Dalek explains why it believes humans are selfish. Miss Quill has completed her repairs on the Dalek. Miss Quill leaves Ace tied up. The Dalek reminds Miss Quill of a Dalek's purpose. The Dalek mentions the TV story that Ace mentioned earlier. Charlie reunites with Miss Quill. The Dalek who attacked Ace and Miss Quill is blown up. Charlie tells Miss Quill and Ace about his experience of being trapped in the 1960s. Charlie reminds Miss Quill how the Doctor saved them, and Ace tells Charlie about her charity. That's my review of the Remembrance, and a few notes about the behind the scenes interviews. So this episode was actually the first episode that Greg and Catherine recorded. Greg, as I mentioned in the cast list, plays Charlie, and Catherine plays Miss Quill. So yeah, volumes 1 and 2 came out in the same months. They were recorded around the same time, so it was just, I assume, availability, and I wanted to do this, and they put it in volume 2, so it was the last story of the lot that they recorded. Sophie talks about filming Remembrance of the Daleks. Catherine and Greg talk about recording with Nick's Dalek voice. That's obviously Nicholas Briggs. Catherine mentions being terrified of the Daleks when she was younger. Nick talks about his son meeting Sylvester McCoy. Now, most of you will know, or Doctor Who fans certainly will know, that Sylvester McCoy plays the 7th Doctor, who is the last Doctor of the classic era, like the TV show, before Paul McGann in the TV movie and then revival and all of that. Anyway, and then we speak, and then we've got Blair Mowat, who recounts getting the composer job on the TV show and does the music for Big Finish as well, or for the classic Big Finish at least, as well as things Torchwood and some of the non-Whoniverse things. Blair mentions his desire to have the music differ from the music heard in Doctor Who, because as I've mentioned previously, Class is a Doctor Who spin-off. Blair talks about the amount of time it took to compose the music for episode 1 of the TV show, and his love for composing episodes 6, 7 and 8, which are obviously the final 3 episodes. It's only an 8 episode season, like season 1 of Doctor Who was. So episode 6 is titled Detained. Episode 7 is titled The Metaphysical Engine, or What Quill Did, and episode 8 is titled The Lost. All my reviews for those episodes can be found on the channel. Blair reveals he's the 3rd person to hear the episodes, and that is it for the behind the scenes interviews even. Now there's going to be an episode break, well at least one, there might be a couple of Maya with the episodes that I record, which will become clear at some point, which I will explain in a minute. Actually I'll explain it now. So Matthew has suggested that he records and he reviews actually some older movies and things. So I think he's going to do Back to the Future, Jurassic Park. He's going to do a couple of other bits and pieces as well. So like for the episode that the next episode I'm going to do, it's going to take me a lot longer to write because it is a movie, and it's actually one of his suggestions, and that's Oppenheimer. So similar to June Part 2, which I reviewed a couple of days ago, is a near 3-hour movie, and compared to this episode, which I think was just over an hour, so I can kind of do that really. But the desire is obviously to get 7 episodes out a week, and obviously with the movies it's not possible, but because they're suggestions I want to review them anyway. So we're just trying to figure out a way so that if you see an episode that's not got me in it, that's why. I think Matthew will mention it, or Chuck Manatee, will mention that as well. But as I mentioned, the next episode the next animated episode that I will be doing, I will be covering Oppenheimer, which is one of your suggestions. So here is the trailer. Oh, laptop, what have you done? Here is the trailer for Oppenheimer. Oh, what have you done now? What have I done now? Oh, now it's skipped. Bear with me a second. That was the trailer for Oppenheimer, which, as I mentioned, I will be reviewing in the next episode. But back to this one, let me know what you thought about in Remembrance if you listened to it, and my review if you didn't. Put your thoughts on both of those in the comments below. As well, with anything else you want to the channel, it could be a TV show or movie suggestion, or it could be something completely different, like a book, a comic, or some news that you want me to cover on a TV show or movie. Put those in the comments below as well. And remember, you can also like, comment, and subscribe. And that's it for this episode of the Everything Podcast. Goodbye.